Your crypto in health. You want to know how crypto is working in health? We come to you every day with juicy news on wealth, wellness, and well being. We're broadcasting to you live from 1.4 degrees south of the equator and 37 degrees east of the central meridian. I like to tell you we're right in the cryptographic middle of the world. You're with me, Scholastica Mugi, and I'm coming to you at 1200 hours Coordinated Universal Time, UTC here on the Ubricoin channel. You're just in time, and we're calling you as a new argonaut for Africa to join us in steering the economies of Africa. We're guided by Annlee Saxenian, who described in her book, The New Argonauts 2006, about the role of the diaspora who traveled to America and returned from Silicon Valley to their home countries to support new industries in semiconductor. Now, in your case, you don't have to travel back and forth like Saxenian described about the argonauts of the 1990s and before. You let the information tech do the traveling for you through the internet and the blockchain economy, which is the Ubricoin. And this is why we're shilling UBN, because we know it helps you solve two fundamental problems: your retirement funds and education for your offsprings. So, guys, as we continue staying safe and staying home if you can, we remind ourselves of the self discipline of washing our hands with soap and water properly and as frequent as we can. And we're sanitizing with an alcohol based sanitizer. We're also wearing our masks every time we're in public and observing social distancing. We must do these things, guys, to keep ourselves protected. And shout out goes to Grace Naomi Shiko, Irene Susan, Barbara Abed, Evans, Betty JJ Jojo, David Muturu, Miss Kindness for Cherry Productions, Madam Beatrice Marango, Joyce of Seattle, Dr. Stephen Karanja, Mr. Mbugwa Kimani, Kimani Kamau, Eglantin Lonperia, Romario, Producer Purity, Tom Pinch 254, Samuel Gatua, Brand Rakoi, Ian Mwangi, Jacob Yator, Paul Njoroge, J. Nelson, The Prince, Triza, Justin, Muhammad Ali, Global Trader, Ruth Owino, Jane Gashugu, Irene Katon, Engineer Masinga, The Comical Canadian, Mark Waweru, Stephen Opanga, Raja Usman, Veronica Mwangi, Justice Kimeli, Chiza, Charles Kerr, Washira SM Pwani, Jane Washira, Lynn Washira, David Ogutu, Bishop Mackenzie, Isaac Githua, Miriam Flower, Moses, Mr. Mbudia, Pastor Zippy, Jessica Daniel John, Alpha Nyota, Steve Nyabuto, Jason Gore, Wanjiko Kinuthia, Ibrahim Gitao, Felix, Sherry, Shali, Fred, George Oduk. Massive love to you guys. Now let's get inspired today from Proverbs chapter 29, verse 25. The fear of man brings a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord shall be safe. Let me repeat that. The fear of man brings a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord shall be safe. Amen and amen. That's really inspiring for today. Now, on our COVID-19 term, we actually revisit flattening the curve. Next, on our crypto news segment, we talk about Colombian Technology Ministry endorsing blockchain and cryptos. And finally, on Ubrica today, we're looking at an important truth about UBN that probably you are in denial about. So we'll be looking at that in a few. So let's begin with defining flattening the curve, which simply means controlling the rate of new cases of COVID-19. And the curve refers to a graph showing the number of cases of COVID-19 that have happened over a period of time. Now, many cases happening in a short period of time creates a graph that looks like a tall spike. And by using protective measures, which is social distancing, wearing your mask, we can slow down how many cases happen. And this is the flattening of the curve on the graph, and which means that the flattened curve winds up looking more like a gentle hill. And that is exactly what we aim at achieving, but unfortunately this has not happened in the longest time, because just yesterday the Ministry of Health, the briefing that happened yesterday, just confirmed to us that the decline in the number of coronavirus cases that they have brought to us in the recent days does not, however, indicate that our curve is flattening. In any case, we were cautioned that probably it is just because of targeting testing that is bringing us to having a reduced number of cases. But the positivity rate here in Kenya is definitely very high. So we need to keep ourselves protected. And having said that, we can now look at currently what we are having in terms of our COVID-19 status here in Kenya. And we're looking at 398,585 having been tested so far. And out of that number, 30,636 have tested positive. Thankfully, 17,368 have recovered, meaning at least half of that number or more than half have recovered. And unfortunately, we've lost 487 lives. So that's exactly what we are looking at. And I hope that you are striving to be on the safe side of this thing. Even as I shout out Brand Rakoi for watching us live. Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence. Feel most welcome. So let's keep protecting ourselves, guys. And definitely that is the only way. And of course, God being above all, we shall definitely conquer. This far we've come. Definitely it's by God's mercies, and we are trusting in Him to keep us safe. Now, having said that, we can cross over to our crypto news segment. We're looking at news on Cointelegraph by Felipe Erazo. Colombian Technology Ministry endorses blockchain and crypto. The Colombian Ministry of Information Technology and Communications, or MINTIC, released a first of its kind draft of a guide that calls for the public sector to adopt blockchain technology, including crypto payment related matters. In the guide for the use and implementation of distributed ledger technology DLT in the public sector, Mintic explains the advantages and disadvantages of implementing DLT within projects related to public entities. Now, the ministry also pointed out the country is lagging in adopting rather blockchain technology, citing the European Union countries, China, the United Arab Emirates, the United States, and Canada. Now, the organizations behind the guide, which include VivLab Bogota, Universidad Nacional de Colombia, Bogota City Hall, and the National, proposed 10 solutions that could be implemented, and that is payments in crypto, land registration, voting, identity data management, supply chains, health records, business records, filing of academic degrees, and management of taxes and public tenders. Now, such solutions aim to remove third-party involvement within the security infrastructure using blockchain technology, which increases the confidence and transparency in the data management. Just so many words to keep stressing on. Removal of third party. Look at what is happening. It's to increase confidence and transparency. And what is guiding all this is the power of blockchain technology. And that is why this government definitely, the Ministry of Information Technology and Communications in Colombia is suggesting that they move to adopting blockchain technology as well as cryptos. You can see they have also included payments in crypto. So that is really amazing because it brings me to what we're talking about in Ubrica today currently, and we're looking at a very important truth about Ubricoin that probably you could be in denial about. And to help me analyze that topic better is one Peter Thiel from his book 0 to 1, which we have really referenced in the recent days. And this is because this book is really amazing. It gives us a lot of guide, and it is actually an eye-opener to how we can better ourselves as a company as well as our crypto UBN. And the one important truth Peter Thiel actually asks in his first chapter, which is the challenge of the future, he asks an important question. What important truth do very few people agree with you on? What important truth do very few people agree with you on? And today we're looking at that particular question. There's just one particular truth that probably there's so many people out there who know about it, but they still live in denial. And for us here, we believe that first of all, most people have not yet agreed, or they're still in denial that things are happening online. People are still in denial, a great number of people. And particularly also, we know that there are people who still do not believe that blockchain is definitely taking the route in as far as becoming the standard medium of exchange is concerned. So that is one important truth that we need to bring to your attention today. And we're looking at it because living in the future is definitely now. So we live in the future. And one thing that Peter Thiel talks about, which I think is really important for you and I to know, is that no one can predict the future exactly, but we know two things. It's going to be different, and it must be rooted in today's world. Now, think with me and look at what is happening in today's world. That's the word, today's world. What is taking place in today's world? And in the midst of a pandemic, what has this pandemic taught us? Lessons learned from the pandemic is that everything has to be moved online, whether you like it or not. And whether you want to agree to, whether you want to be in denial, we definitely are looking at a space where the online market is definitely going to be flooded in a few years to come. So there are people who have argued in the past that, oh, cryptos are a scam. And probably, first of all, let me put this out there. There are people who actually claim that cryptos are a scam, but in actual sense, it's because you lost your recovery phrase, you didn't place it well, and then you happened to lose your phone. You can't keep track of your recovery phrase, and voila, your Ubricoins are gone. So that is why you're actually saying that UBN is a scam, OCG, BTC is a scam. We have had all these cases. And in most cases, you'll find that the victims do not have their recovery phrase. And as we always insist, it is very important for you to always remember that recovery phrase is what is keeping your Ubricoins safe at all times. So it is not that cryptos are a scam. We know that many instances we have seen people just wanting to, put to badmouth cryptos, and that is not getting any traction at any point, because if anything, right now cryptos are definitely on a bull run, which means they're gaining traction by the day. So the more you badmouth, you who is out there who is in denial that the crypto space is already here with us and we need to embrace it, the more it's actually gonna be tragic for you, because fortunately or unfortunately, fiat is definitely going to be wiped in the next 10 to 20 years. We're not going to be dealing with fiat currency anymore. That is the truth be told, because everybody is wanting to have a space where you can eliminate that third party. You don't need to have permission to get to send your money to anyone. You don't need to go to that third party. So this trustless system is what everybody wants in their life. So whether we like it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you keep denying, the truth is cryptos are here to stay. And more people, as we have seen, as I always bring to you news, more people want to come into this space, and they want also to embrace using cryptos as payment, as a form of payment. And that is why we talk about three values of Ubricoins. And we look at the past value, and we look at the present value and the future value. And this is why we say that, of course, right now, the important thing is that for you to first accept and stop living in denial anymore, that in fact, cryptos are here to stay and I need to invest in more. I need to bring myself to that, to that reality that we can't do away with cryptos. We're actually beginning. And if you haven't begun in your mind to remind yourself that this is a place that you need to belong to, then you're definitely lost. So having said that, guys, I really want to urge you to keep going with the Ubricoin. The better part of the morning, Ubricoin had actually been very bullish, but right now I see we've gone down a little bit, but not so much regarding the price. We're not so down in terms of price, but probably in terms of the percentage, we have gone down. But definitely we have a chance to take this percentage to a greater level, and that is by you doing the action in the marketplace. And we have Cryptlock exchange for you. You can do UBN ETH. I want to recommend UBN ETH on Cryptlock X exchange. Let us do that one and see what happens. And also feel free to go to either Flyer, also visit Phoenix Box, and you can actually keep track, you can actually keep track of what is happening to UBN and how many of us we are. And this is the one, your block explorer, that's the etherscan.io. You're going to find every information that you need concerning Ubricoin. So that's the transparency that we talk about. You'll see everything. You'll see the transfers. You'll see what happened in the past 1 hour. Somebody sent some Ubricoins in the past 1 hour and 49 minutes ago. So you will definitely see the action taking place. You go and see the number of holders. We are 69,793 of us, and we need to be doing more for our volumes, guys. We need to keep action in the market going further and further. So that is really important for us to note, guys. And I am really thankful for everybody who is in this space and who is taking this thing very positively. We're really glad that you're here. We are always honored, and we know that we're gonna moon together because of believing in UBN and because we know we're gonna take this to the next level. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you, Brand Rakoy, again for being live with us. We appreciate your presence. I've got to love you and leave you at this point with a quote from author Thomas Dexter Jakes, or better known as Teddy Jakes, who says, "Big ideas come from forward thinking people who challenge the norm, think outside the box, and invent the world they see inside rather than submitting to the limitations of current dilemmas." I'd like to repeat that. Big ideas come from forward thinking people who challenge the norm, think outside the box, and invent the world they see inside rather than submitting to the limitations of current dilemmas. I have been your girl, Scholastic Kamugi, and until tomorrow, it is goodbye for now. Ciao.